On Kochie's Business Builders, how to build a strong team for your business to succeed. HR experts have the right tips. Plus, how innovation helped the Gold Coast coffee business survive and thrive. And the corporate banker who went into the juice business, how to swap careers and quickly turn a profit. Hello and welcome to Kochie's Business Builders. Now, most people would agree the key to having a successful business starts with a strong team. It's the biggest issue facing a successful audiovisual company as it embarks on a recruitment drive. So we sent in an HR expert for tips on how to hire, retain and inspire the people who work within your business. The boss says staff culture has never been better. So let's find out how the business can maintain harmony while bringing in new employees into the fold. AV 24/7 prides itself on employing innovative thinkers and proactive creators. The team uses the latest technology to bring exhibitions, conferences and events to life.
My husband started the business about 15 years ago. We've got 22 full-time staff, 30 casuals and a growing workforce every couple of months.
General Manager Libby Ray is meeting HR expert Karen Gately to find out how to maintain strong team spirit.
How do you get the best out of your staff?
Number one thing that I find is so important for our staff is our culture.
Yeah.
But I feel like having a great culture that we have at the moment in our company is really what helps them to really achieve to the best of their ability.
So when you're going through a hiring process, what do you focus on through that process, the interview? How do you make your decision? What's most important to you about who you hire?
Number one would have to be cultural fit. Probably sounds like that we're a little bit obsessed with our culture, which we are. There is a standard skill set that, particularly from the technical side, that people really need to be able to deliver a job. However, if we found someone in the recruitment process that had the right attitude and the right mind to be able to learn quickly and develop those skills quickly, we would pick the person with the right values and the right cultural fit.
AV 24/7 is about to go through another growth phase, meaning Libby is about to start the hiring process.
When it comes to employing people, what should I look for in a person?
Yeah, so in my experience, the things that matter most are obviously they've got the baseline of talent that they need, but then it really is about that culture fit, as we've been talking about. And at the heart of anybody's ability to be successful in business is strong relationships. And therefore, are they able to build rapport because they're able to build trust and respect in their relationships with people? So it's really important to ask people to share with you, how they go about building great relationships, when they've experienced great relationships or otherwise, and just really test that they've got the level of integrity and respectful attitude that will ultimately allow them to be successful as part of your team. In my experience, we need to ask people to tell us about a time when they've done certain things, because if I ask you a question like, what does great teamwork mean? You're very likely to be able to give me a theoretical answer to that. But if I ask you, when have you been part of a really successful team, and help me to understand how you contributed to that? Then what you start to hear is people's awareness, their self-awareness, their commitment to team. If I'm just giving you a theoretical answer, you'll actually be able to hear the gaps of understanding because the person hasn't actually been there, done that and been part of a successful team.
Does everyone have to be a team player though?
Yes. So being a team player means I'm part of enabling the whole outcome, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just about myself. I'm not just about my isolated world. I'm actually about the whole organisation's success.
Look, I'm all for team players. In my small business, I always encourage people to get rowdy, yell across the room, have conversations with each other, because it adds to the energy. Coming up, how Libby can get the best out of her staff and encourage them to grow within the business. Is your business located in a capital city? If it is, you're benefiting from a surge in customer spending. Research conducted by NAB found metro centres had a higher turnover than regional areas in the first quarter of this year. The biggest spenders are in Sydney and Melbourne. In Sydney, consumers spent an average $2,197, and in Victoria, they forked out just $1 less. It's not all bad news if your business is located in regional Australia, though. Spending growth was up in all regional areas compared to the same time last year. Consumers in regional WA spent the most, forking out $2,117 for the month. So what are Australians spending their money on? Well, accommodation and food mostly, closely followed by arts and recreation activities. For the full report, visit nab.com.au/insights. You're watching Kochie's Business Builders. Today we've called in an HR expert to advise a small business on building the best team to help it succeed. An audio-visual production company is about to go through a big growth phase, but wants to protect its existing culture of teamwork and harmony. So let's check back in with Libby Ray and Karen Gately.
So Karen, I really want to get the best out of my staff. Do you have any tips that I can follow to get to do that?
Absolutely. Yeah, look, I think, listening to you, I think you understand a lot of the priorities for your business, and culture is critically important. My experience, the link between someone's potential and their performance is behavioural choice, so we can have talent, we can have knowledge, skills, experience, but then we need to actually choose successful behaviours to actually get there. So, helping people to actually want to behave successfully because they're energised, they feel part of the team, they feel like they matter to your business and ultimately what you're able to achieve. So, if I had to say focus on one thing, I would focus on energy, focus on the things that give people energy, and obviously work hard to avoid the things that take energy from your team and stop them from thriving.
As we grow, I'm concerned that we might lose an element of the harmony that we have in the workplace. How can I ensure that we maintain the culture and the harmony that we have now?
When you are recruiting, you need to absolutely have a strong view of the person's values and do what you can to predict how they're likely to behave. Then you need to set really clear expectations when someone comes into your workplace about what successful behaviour looks like. And those behaviours need to include, that collaboration with colleagues, the attitude around being respectful and supportive of one another. And then ultimately you need to hold people accountable to that. One of the ways that you need to do that is to make sure you and obviously other leaders in your business actually know how to have a tough love conversation about behaviour and help to correct people, if they're going about things in ways that are going to undermine that team spirit and that sense of unity and therefore the harmony that comes from that.
How do you build staff up to go beyond their current skill level?
I think the most important thing as a leader is that you actually adopt a coaching attitude. And what that means is you really understand who this person is. What are their skill sets today and where do they want to go to tomorrow? And then what are the capabilities and potentially behaviours that they need to master in terms of actually getting that job done?
What do you think would be the most important skill to learn as a leader?
The reality is if you see behaviours that are unacceptable in your business, you need to address it immediately. And that's not about, obviously, being aggressive or necessarily punishing someone, but you do need to have a tough love conversation about this is what I've observed and this is why I don't think that either serves you well or, the team or whatever the impact was. So you're nipping things in the bud, respectfully, compassionately, but with absolute honesty is fundamental to your ability to hold people accountable.
Yep.
Some really great advice there from Karen. A business is really a melting pot of personalities, and knowing how to manage everyone differently is critically important. All right, now to our pillars of success, helping you build solid foundations. Inventium's Amantha Imber is talking innovation.
Today's pillar of success is all about de-risking innovation, because it's impossible to innovate without taking a risk. Innovation is ultimately about placing bets on a future that is uncertain. But innovation is also a necessary ingredient for growth. But there is a way to significantly reduce the risk of innovation, and that is to run experiments. Your first step is to set hypotheses, which are basically educated guesses as to why you believe your idea will add value to the customer. Next, you need to build a minimum viable product, or MVP, which is a basic version of your idea. Next, design an experiment to test your hypotheses using the MVP. You might, for example, build a landing page for your idea and see how many people click the Buy Now button. Based on your results, you can iterate and improve your idea before you think about launching it. And of course, if the experiment fails, you will have saved a lot of money from avoiding launching an idea that nobody wanted.
Coming up, the co-founder of Emma and Tom's shares his unique philosophy to building a successful business.
Hi, my name is Tom Griffith. I'm a co-founder of Emma and Tom's, an Australian healthy drinks and snacks brand. My 3 secrets to success are: 1, make sure you really, really want to do it, because whatever you start, you've got to love, and it'll take you 10, 15 years to evolve it through to the finished product that you really want. Number 2 is business partnership, obviously. I've had a very long and successful 15-year relationship with my business partner, Emma Welsh, which we attribute to 3 main factors, being trust, respect, and a shared vision, without which I suppose most relationships don't work. And the third one has to be the team that we've worked with along the way. We've got a team now of 50+ people across 4 states, and they behave like business owners. They work in a really collegiate fashion. Just because my name's in the bottle, I don't get treated differently at work. Everyone chips in, and it's been a real, sort of, I suppose, aspect to our combined success. So they're my 3 tips. Thanks.
Now to an entrepreneur whose brand has become a household name on the Gold Coast. Kenton Campbell is the founder of Zarraffa's Coffee, which now has 70 stores across Queensland, Western Australia and New South Wales. But his journey wasn't so easy, forcing Kenton to become innovative or get left behind.
Zarraffa started in 1995. I'd come from the States the year before, consulting in the coffee industry. I came from Seattle, which people would know specialty coffee with Starbucks and the like it started from. And I came over here and I saw a wide opening in the market. I realized that paper cups and takeaway coffee basically hadn't arrived. So in March 25th of 1995, I incorporated and set out on this journey. I started in Southport and Pinner Drive on the Gold Coast in a small 60 square meter factory, a lot smaller than this, obviously. I had a little roaster at the back, and I decided to start doing retail out of it. And before I knew it, the Gold Coast Hospital clientele that came down, the doctors and nurses, it got to a point where I knew I needed to move. We then opened up a kiosk on the other side of the mall, and then Harbour Town in 1999. They both opened at the same time. My wife called me up because she was getting the bills at the home fax machine, $400,000 worth, and she basically said, "Is there another way we can do this?" crying. And I needed to figure out a different way of growing and managing the business, and looked into it and found franchising. I had better people surrounding me and supporting me. I had great franchisees wanting to help me grow the brand that was passionate, if not more passionate than me, about the brand. So it allowed the brand to grow exponentially with less stress to me, my family, and the business. So I'd seen drive-thrus in the States, but we did this next level. We had 2 windows. We sort of looked at it as we want to be up here with the big boys. So we did it. $500,000 fit out did it. And that innovation paid off. Those franchisees now are some of our biggest franchisees in Townsville. It's changed our brand forever. The most common asked question is, what is Zarraffa's? What is the name? Where does it come from? So I came upon this picture of a giraffe, and next to it, in Arabic, Zarraffa. Not giraffe, Zarraffa. And I knew it. Zarraffa's Coffee. My connection with Kenya goes back to about 2012. I ended up getting really a trip of a lifetime because I was sitting at the bar and I asked the bartender, "Do you happen to know how far the closest coffee is grown?" And he said, "Shh, I'm in a co-op. I'll get it together, but don't tell anybody." So we got a car organized. We went to this co-op, and for the last 7 years, we bought them out completely. We supported them around building a seedling nursery. They used to do it under their shade cloth, underneath the drawing tables. And I said, "You guys don't have anything for the future. Your average grower is 60, 70 years old. There's no young people here. Let's put into the future. So Zarraffa's has been about meaningful conservation, not buying fair trade. We are fair trade. You know, we are doing something behind the scenes. We're not doing it for the pat on the back and writing the checks out. Anybody can write a check. Go and see what you're putting it into.
It is just so important to give back, either with your time or your money. A lot of successful entrepreneurs are among our biggest philanthropists, and that is just fantastic. Coming up, Ask Kochie. You throw me a question, I'll do my best to answer it.
Apple's upcoming iOS 12 software will bring a stack of changes to iPhones and iPads. Once installed, you'll see apps launch up to 40% faster, the keyboard will open around 50% faster, and the camera will spring to life 70% quicker. What's really significant here is that you'll see these speed improvements on devices as old as the iPhone 5S, so not just new tech. And with some new ways to track and reduce battery degradation, the true business benefit is that iOS 12 will lessen demands to replace your aging iPads and iPhones and help extend their working life. The new Group FaceTime feature is a fantastic addition and can support a 32-person teleconference, so people can join and exit seamlessly, and no additional bandwidth is needed compared to, say, a two-person chat. Now, devices with iOS 12 are also more secure and have better privacy. The Safari browser can now block Facebook's like and share buttons and other widgets advertisers use to track you without your permission. Security enhancements include two-factor SMS code copying, making two-factor passwords populate as an autofill option. The business benefit here is that it takes the pain out of using these codes for businesses that want to adopt a more secure password regime. iOS 12 will be available as a free download coming this spring, or you can give it a try now by joining the Apple Public Beta program.
It's Ask Kochie time. This week, an online business up north got in touch asking how to grow on a tight budget.
Hi Kochie. My wife and I have been running our online grocery business for 15 years now. We shop, deliver and unpack shopping orders for tourists into their accommodation before they arrive to the Cairns and Port Douglas area. Customers always thank us for saving them time and hassle when they come to our region. Our problem is getting people to know about us before they arrive. We do have some great accommodation partners that support and promote us. But beyond that, we would like to know how we could reach those thousands of tourists. We have a Facebook page with over 500 likes. We have a limited budget to put behind a campaign, so any advice would be appreciated. Thanks, Kochie.
John and Yvonne, thanks for getting in touch. What a great business idea. Who wouldn't want the fridge stocked before they arrive on holiday? Look, I'm glad you've partnered up with accommodation providers in the area. That's no doubt going to bring in a lot of business for you. Next thing you need to do is up your Facebook following from 500 to into the thousands. Nearly all consumers use the web to search for places to holiday, and Facebook is rolling out features to help users find small businesses just like yours. There are so many ways to promote your business on Facebook, so where to start? You guys have done all the back-end work creating the page. It's probably a good idea to get a logo created for your business. Use your business logo as the primary photo for your Facebook page, as well as your website and Instagram account if you have one. You should have an Instagram account. Also, choose a cover photo that showcases your business. So a stocked fridge will be perfect. Thirdly, it's a really good idea to type up a few snappy sentences to describe your brand. Please shop for me. All right, so come up with that, be a bit creative. That's your chance to directly appeal to holiday makers out there. Facebook has an insights tool which provides valuable information on follower activity. It can even tell you what time most people view your page, so you can plan your promotions around that. So you should be posting at least once or twice a week and keep your tone very conversational and very short and sharp. Now, you've been around for 15 years, so why not leverage off your previous customers? Ask people to write in testimonials or videotape their testimonial on their iPhone or smartphone and send it in to you. Keep in mind, when someone interacts with your page, their friends are going to see it as well. Also encourage customers to check into your business when they've arrived on holiday and maybe offer a small discount or a gift to anyone who does. People love to save $1 or $2. And you mentioned, John, you don't have a lot of money to play with, very common in small business, of course. If you can spare $5 a day, Facebook ads are a great way to get noticed because Facebook collects plenty of data. It can target users who are looking to book a holiday up north, and bingo, you've got your next customer. Now, apart from your Facebook page, your website is also your online sales tool. Make sure it looks modern, up to date, and your contact details are easy to find. So, John and Yvonne, hope that helps. Keep in touch, let us know how you get on, and don't forget, if you have a question you'd like answered, be sure to send it in to kbb@pinstripemedia.com.au. I'll do my very best to answer it. Coming up next week, support and advice for small business owners doing it tough. Let me tell you, you're not alone. And don't forget to join our Facebook Live discussion every Monday from 12:30 Eastern. See you next week for more Kochie's Business Builders.